Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have some very good news, especially for us 3D era fans. In an interview with Brian Tong, Ed Boon did reveal just flat out that 3D era characters will be having a lot of representation in Mortal Kombat 1. This first clip doesn't actually have to do with the 3D era characters, but it is still very interesting because on Brian's shirt right here, he has some characters on it and he asked Ed Boon if any of them are going to be cameo characters. And Ed does say yes. If I had to guess, I think he's maybe talking about Baraka. I don't think Reptile is going to be a cameo. As for the rest of the characters, we already know that Jax is one. We already know that Kung Lao is going to have a cameo variation. So I don't know who exactly he's talking about. So I'd have to assume if he's talking about cameo exclusive characters, there is a chance that Baraka is that. But let me go ahead and play the clip for you guys.
Okay, I got a fun thing that won't reveal any new characters, which we already did. But if you look at this shirt, we know that this is the MK2 select screen. So can you just say, when you look at here, are there any cameo characters on this shirt? This is not spoiling, there's 12 here. I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like this is easy. This is a gimme. Like if I wore like maybe a Deception or like a Deadly Alliance, you'd be like,
Okay, so as you guys saw there, this is the MK2 roster, so it is pretty easy to say like, oh yeah, one of those characters will be a cameo character, especially since we know that the classic characters are going to be the ones that get a lot of representation within the cameos. And Ed Boon has said in a separate interview, which I haven't covered in a video and I don't think I'm going to cover all of the new stuff happening because it's already being covered everywhere, so I'm just going to sprinkle it here and there. He did confirm that the KOMBAT kids, for example, will not be playable characters in Mortal Kombat 1. Because they aren't born yet. Ed Boon did say that the characters on the main roster are dictated by their inclusion in the main story. So in this instance, I do think that he is talking about probably Baraka, because Shang Tsung's already confirmed and all these other characters are confirmed to be in the game in some other way, except for Reptile, I guess. But I personally think that Reptile is going to be a playable character in this game, so it's hard to say. But anyway, let's get to the actual point of this video. I'm sorry for rambling for so long. In this next clip, Ed Boon is going to confirm the 3D era representation.
You know, well, those 3D era games are going to have a lot of representation in this game. And you know, and some characters are cameo and regular fighters, right? Like Kung Lao is going to be both. Sub-Zero, Scorpion are going to be in both rosters and stuff like that. But not every character, but that's going to be fun.
So right there, Ed Boon not only said that the 3D era will be getting representation, but he also specified that some characters can be cameos and main roster. Now he could have been saying that because of the question he asked beforehand about the characters on his shirt. So like Ed Boon saying, yeah, some of those characters will be cameo characters, he could be talking about Reptile being a cameo and playable, or Shang Tsung being a cameo and playable, you guys know what I mean. So that could be why he specified it, but I also think it's going to be because of the 3D era characters. For example, if Reiko is in this game, he could have a cameo as well, or if Havoc is in this game, he'll have a cameo as well as being playable. And I did bring up some tweets here so we can talk about that. So Ed Boon did make this tweet a few days ago before the gameplay reveal, saying that some of these characters will be making their return in Mortal Kombat 1's roster. If I had to guess, I'd say that Reiko is 100% confirmed, like, I have no doubt in my mind. Same thing with Tanya. I think Tanya's gonna make it because the huge focus on, like, Melina, Katana, Sindel, like, the, not Adenia, but Outworld, whatever it is in this new era, there's a huge focus on that plot point. But I bring this up as well as this tweet from Brusque Poet, where he shows characters such as Havoc, Reiko, Nitara, and Li Mei, and then Ed Boon replies with this. So I do think for sure Reiko is going to be in the game, because he's in this roster as well as being on this tweet. And if anything, he's one of those characters from Mortal Kombat 4, where if you think about Mortal Kombat 4, you're gonna think about Reiko, he's just there. Honestly, since Ed Boon is saying a lot of representation from the 3D era, I wouldn't be surprised at all if all 4 of these characters make it, which I would love to see. On top of these characters, I want to see characters maybe like Hotaru, Ashura, Shujinko obviously is my favorite character in Mortal Kombat, so of course I'd love to see him, but I think if anything, these 4 characters are like, they have huge fan bases, they are all very unique, and characters like Havoc, for example, has made his return in things like the Mortal Kombat X comic book series, and has been referenced in several Mortal Kombat games. And even though he hasn't been playable in like over 15, 16 years, he remains super iconic. If you ask me, I think all 4 of these characters are going to be in the game. Cameo or playable, I think they will all make the cut. If I had to be super careful about it, I would say Reiko is the only one I am 100% set on is going to be a cameo and a playable character. Going through these comments here, like again, Dairu, Darius, these are characters I'd love to see as well. Suha was actually shown off in a stage in Mortal Kombat 1 so far. I don't really think it has to do with anything. I think it's just like a tiny Easter egg. But he is an option I think could be a good cameo fighter, along with all of these characters, which Ed Boon has said. Cameo fighters are going to include characters that are, of course, like joke characters, but can also include characters that were never even playable to begin with. So I think cameos are going to have a lot of variation. But as for the 3D era characters, let me know who you guys think are going to be in the game. I think with this whole new era, they can fully realize, or actually re-realize, characters like Havoc, Nitara, Li Mei, Ashura, even characters like Baraicho, who did return in Mortal Kombat X, I think could make another return here. Even characters like Serena, who I know a lot of people want to see. I think that this is the game where characters like that can finally have their time to shine. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention since you guys know I really love the 3D era, and I know a lot of you guys do as well. So I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this. Not the longest video in the world, but do let me know your guys' thoughts. Who do you want to see playable from the 3D era? And also, just because I'm looking at it here, I think that Kai is also very likely to be in this game. Since he hasn't returned since this game and Mortal Kombat Armageddon, I guess he's also in the same shoes as Reiko. But I just think that these two characters, since these are some like new staples in Mortal Kombat 4, I think Ed Boon tweeting this roster would mean that some of the debut characters in the roster are going to make it. So Reiko, Kai, Tanya, I'm pretty set on those characters making it. But anyway, enough rambling. Let me know who you guys think is going to make it into the roster. And ladies, gentlemen, and NB beauties, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.